Hello, my name is Rick Noel from eBizROI, and I'm going to provide a quick demonstration of YouTube Insight, an analytic tool to measure some of the data associated with videos you've uploaded on YouTube. And to do that, I'm going to go ahead and click on My Videos, which should list all the videos that I've uploaded to YouTube on this account. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom, and then for the Chinese water torture video, since it has the most views, 12,620, I'm going to click on the Insight button. And that's going to bring me to a view where I can select the window that I'd like to look at. So the date range, I'm going to go all the way back to April 10, 2007 through yesterday. The data for YouTube Insight is a one-day lag. And I can see that there's a distribution of views that are graphed over time here in the map. And I can also see there's a heat map over here with a map of the world showing which countries have the strongest concentration of views. So we can see that the United States, based on the shading in the map, has the most views. I can also look at views, a 7-day total if I want to summarize the data by week, or I can view 30-day totals if I want to see what the monthly view looks like for views in a given month. This gives us a more summary view of the data. It may also help us spot trends in the data that might not be available by looking at daily graphs. So finally, the last view that I'd like to show is the view by regional popularity. So we can see for a particular country, we can see what percentage of views that country has. So for instance, the United States for this particular video has 5% of the views, United Kingdom 2%, Canada and Italy also have 2%. Now the next thing I want to look at in YouTube Insight is to look at how people discover my video, because I can upload videos on YouTube, but if nobody watches them, then they're not very valuable to me. So I see that this video was discovered primarily from the YouTube related video feature, which if you've used YouTube and you're familiar with it from a player standpoint, you know at the end of the video, depending on the settings for that particular video, it will generally show you related videos at the end. You can select those videos. So in this case, 9,200 of the views for this video came through YouTube related videos. So very powerful feature. And in this case, there must have been other videos that this one was viewed as related to, which drove a lot of traffic to this video. Now, I might also be interested in understanding the location of where the video was played. And we can see for this particular video that the predominance of views were on the YouTube watch page. So people on YouTube.com, they're watching a video, they see related video, and they click on it. However, we do see that 3%, almost 4%, 3.7% of the views were on mobile devices. So as smartphones become broader in terms of market penetration, more broadly available, I have a feeling that we're going to start to see YouTube viewers viewing more video on their mobile devices, their smartphones. Another thing that we can find from YouTube Insights is the demographics. What does our audience look like for this particular video? And we can see that the audience distribution by age is predominantly centered around the age group of 45 to 54. Kind of surprising to me for the content. But what's also interesting is that we see that this is primarily viewed by males. 79% of the views came from male viewers as opposed to 21% female. So almost a 4-to-1 male to female viewer ratio. What's also interesting is I can segment the data. So if I look at the male viewership, the age distribution stays pretty constant, which makes sense given that most of the viewers were men. However, when I select the segmentation by females, I see that the age distribution for 13 to 17 becomes the #1 age group for the viewing of this video, where 45 to 54 is now the #2 age group. So you see that there are differences between the age demographics on male versus female. The next thing I want to talk about is the ability to look at community engagement statistics. And these are things like video shares, ratings, comments, or if somebody favorited the video. So if we just look at ratings, for instance, this video happens to have 19 ratings, which for 12,366 views is about right in terms of statistically speaking. What's interesting is you can see that there's 16 dislikes, and that's probably because I was singing along with my friend's band who was practicing when they were doing this song, and I am nowhere close to near pitch. But on a serious note, we can see that the United States had 42.9% of the shares or of the ratings of this video, and that Australia, India, Russia, and Canada each had 14.3%. So we can see that the viewership of a video relative to, in this case, the rating of that video are not necessarily one-to-one. United States had 5% of the views, but yet 42.9% of the ratings. Very interesting finding in my view. Now, the last thing I want to look at is what's called hotspots. And what hotspots show me are audience attention relative to the average for videos of similar size. So for instance, this video is 4 minutes and 52 seconds. I see that the average for this video for attention is below average for the entire video, but the hotspot, if any hotspot, which is typically when you cross over the average line for attention of audience attention, we see that about 4 minutes into the video through the end of the video at 4 minutes and 52 seconds, we see that there's a pretty close to average, which in this case is a peak for this video. So people that were invested 4 minutes into the video tended to not drop off more than the average rate, which is what's being measured against this average baseline. These are just a few of the features of YouTube Insight. I thought this would be valuable for anybody that uses YouTube to market videos to understand that this data exists, it's available, how to get to it. If you have any questions, we can be reached at ebizroi.com or sales@ebizroi.com.